Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by Spades Royale, which is a free-to-play, friendly spades game that you can play from anywhere right on your phone, and it's with live video. So this game is totally free for iOS and for Android. Download it now because it is so much fun. Click the link in the description box below and you can download Spades Royale and get 1,000 free coins. Now let me just break it down to you guys. You know, I love my games. I love my games because I like to relax, I like to decompress, and that is what I do. Don't judge me for it, it's what I do. Okay, guys? And I love it. And honestly, guys, right now, Spades Royale is my favorite game. I play it almost every single night when I'm just sitting on the couch, watching my bad reality TV, trying to just unwind from the day, and I love it because it's not only fun, but it's also challenging. Because as much as I like to turn my brain off when I'm in those moments of decompression, I also like to be stimulated a little bit and make sure that my brain's still working and keeping things sharp up here. So if you're not familiar with Spades, Spades is a really fun card game that you play with 2 against 2. So you definitely need a partner, but luckily there is always a partner online for you to play with. So the basic rules of the game is that you get 13 cards, and then based on those cards that you get, you guess how many rounds you will win by having the winning card. And again, I love it because it's also challenging. You have to literally look at this stack of cards that you get and correctly guess how many rounds you're going to win based on that. And also, it's extra challenging because you and your partner need to hit those numbers that you're guessing of how many rounds you're going to win together. So the number of hands that you thought you would win, you guys have to guess that together and really get to that number together. So you really got to be aligned and you got to be in sync with your partner. As you can see here, I guessed that I was going to win 4 rounds. So as I'm going, as I'm playing, I'm trying to make sure that I don't exceed that number, but if I can't even make that number, I want to make sure that my partner can hit their number and hopefully we can, hit that total together. I also love that you're able to customize your own avatar because I feel like so often I get the auto-generated little robot guy. So the fact that you can put your name, you can dress it up, do different hair, different accessories. I like that. It's a good, unique little touch. So what are you guys waiting for? Click that link in the video description, download the game for free, get your 1,000 free coins, and meet me at the table because I need some new partners who I'm aligned with, who I'm in sync with, and who I can play with. Thanks also to Spades Royale for sponsoring today's video, and thank you all of you viewers for understanding that sponsors are essential to the channel if we want to grow it to a place where I can give you more true crime all the time. All right guys, now let's get into this case. Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Elise, and this is 10 to Life, where we talk everything true crime. I've got to tell you guys, it is so hot here today. It is literally 102 degrees and I am just sweating and super uncomfy. I'm hoping summer's around the corner. I think it is, but I don't know that I can take this heat. It's a little too much for me. It's a little too much. Anyways, the case we're talking about today is one that I'm having kind of a hard time forming an opinion on. And I'm really interested to hear what your guys' thoughts are, because when I first started researching this case and putting all of my thoughts together on paper, I initially thought one thing, and I thought, this person that we're going to be talking about is a victim and this and that. And then as I started uncovering more information, and as I started going through the arrest affidavit and text messages that were exchanged, my opinion started to get a little cloudy, and I started to really wonder if this is as black and white as I thought it was. So I will be interested to hear your thoughts. If you are brand new and have never been at this channel before and you're stopping by for the first time, welcome, and I hope you enjoy today's case video and enjoy this channel. And if you do, don't forget, hit the subscribe button below and turn your notification bell to on so that you get notified of new case uploads as I post them and new live streams as they happen in real time with cases that are ongoing. So let's talk about this case, guys. Okay, so Sarah Jane Harris is a 25-year-old woman who is an aspiring model and who actually competed in the Miss Maryland Petite competition back in March of 2021. In the fall of 2020, she went in to have her wisdom teeth removed, and while she was there, she met a man by the name of Dr. James Ryan. And James is the owner of this practice and is 48 years old, so nearly 20 years older than Sarah. And on his practice's website, James said that he has been a dental surgeon for 20 years, and he's also involved in clinical research surrounding infant and pediatric care, which is just, fantastic. It's right there. You have the unicorn. You have somebody who is not only a doctor, which is great, but also somebody who focuses on infant care and pediatrics. I mean, the true unicorn of unicorns. So after Sarah has her wisdom teeth removed, she comes back a couple of weeks later because she thinks that she may have an infection. She meets with the doctor and, they handle all of that, and he tells her about a job opening that was actually going to be available in his practice. So by the summer of 2021, Sarah was not only working for James at his dental practice, but they were now living together in a very serious relationship, a relationship that had started just that January, and a relationship that grew very serious and very quickly. But just 7 months after moving in with her new love interest, this amazing dentist, doctor, infant and pediatric extraordinaire, Sarah tragically ended up dead. So what happened and who was responsible? Let's get right into it.
Tend to Life with Elise starts right now.
So shortly after moving in with James, Sarah's family members began to notice a physical change in Sarah's appearance, and the family says that Sarah did not look healthy. After months went by, her appearance apparently continued to be concerning and dwindle down, and apparently Sarah's substance addiction became very evident. Now, Sarah's family first suspected that she was potentially using after a family get-together. They had noticed that at these family gatherings, Sarah was wearing long sleeves despite the very hot weather, suggesting that maybe she was purposefully trying to cover up her arms. And in one instance that took place in October 2021, not long ago, 2 relatives reportedly went to Sarah's house and found her in what they describe as being an altered state. And one of the relatives at that point forced Sarah to roll up her sleeves, and then they saw what was happening, and they saw her arms covered in bruises and in injection marks. But many have said that Sarah had never previously been a user, and that this was extremely out of character for her. So how did things escalate to this in such a short amount of time? And more importantly, why did it escalate to this? Because she had only been with this man for not even a year, living with him. How did things go from one extreme to the other? Well, tragically, Sarah's habits ultimately got the best of her. And on January 26th, 2022, James called the police after he woke up to report that he had found Sarah downstairs on the couch and that she was unresponsive. First responders rushed to the couple's home that they shared after receiving that call. And inside, paramedics found Sarah, just 25 years old, unresponsive. But possibly even more alarming than what just happened and what they just saw and realized with Sarah was the scene in which it happened in, because various vials of controlled substances were found nearby. And I'm talking substances like ketamine, diazepam, and propofol, some serious medical grade substances, and all in injectable bottles. And these bottles are not the type of medication that you would normally get or that would normally have been dispensed from a pharmacy. These are usually reserved for clinical medical settings. So investigators also at the scene recovered an assortment of hypodermic needles, syringes, and tourniquets in that home. And Sarah's cause of death? Well, Sarah died from intoxication of ketamine as well as the sedative diazepam, both substances of which were found inside the home in those vials. So based on the types of substances and the evidence that was found inside the home, Sarah's family believes that James was giving Sarah these medications from his practice. They also believe that Sarah sank into this addiction due to James steadily supplying her with an array of these powerful prescriptions, both intravenously and with injections. So police began investigating James shortly after they were called to that house following Sarah's death, and Sarah's sister Rachel went to bat for Sarah, and she was going to get to the bottom of this. So she was able to access Sarah's phone and her social media accounts, and she uncovered various text message exchanges between Sarah and James that was about to open this case wide open. So she put all of those exchanges in a binder and then handed them over to the Montgomery County Police. According to court documents, text messages between James and Sarah shows Sarah asking for several different medications, and James responding by instructing her on how to take them. Text messages between the two of them detailed Sarah appearing to have a very bad reaction to that anesthetic that she had taken, which is ketamine. So I'm going to now read you guys a few of the text message exchanges that are actually outlined in the court documents, and these conversations really took place as recently as 4 months before Sarah died. In this first one, it's dated June 12th, 2021, and Sarah says, "Can you bring home more IV bags?" James says, "Is my ID at home?" And Sarah asks, "Are there any updates? How long do you think it will be? Get a tape and gauze. LOL, they weren't lost. Why were we even fighting?" James responds, "No idea. Tired and bad dreams." Sarah says, "So strange." James replies, "I'm really sorry." And Sarah says, "I know you love me." And then James replies, "Believe me, I will beat myself up over that more than you will ever know. I love you so, so much. I was still sleeping until I woke up and was like, why am I so upset?" And Sarah responds, "Didn't mean to hang up like that. Love you. Drive safe. Can you get regular 20 gauge needles?" Fast forward to September 2021, and this is approximately 4 months before Sarah died. So on September 7th, Sarah says, "It feels like fall is coming outside. I didn't bring a vial. I don't want a versed hangover." And James puts the laughing emoji and says, "Yes, I'm trying not to do so much and taper to nothing. Hard in this stupid area." A couple of weeks later, Sarah texts him, "Can you do me a favor and put more saline in the versed vial? Thank you, love you." He replies, "Of course, sleep well and get some rest," with the heart emoji. Again, later that evening, Sarah says, "My anxiety is so bad today." And James asks, "Why, love? Everything is fine here. Take a Xanax before it gets worse." She replies, "I really don't feel good. I feel completely drained and dehydrated." He asks, "What can I do to help? What's on your mind? Should I bring home fluids?" And Sarah says, "I'm just having anxiety about life and have a kind of doomed feeling." James replies, "Don't listen to that. You are not doomed." She says, "I don't know. I don't think you'll find a vein. I'm so dehydrated." He replies saying, "Drink some water. Try not to smoke today, at least for a bit. Use the Xanax. If you want to go get my prescription and try one of those, it may help." The next day, Sarah messages him in the morning, and she says, "I just woke up. I feel like I got actual sleep. How's your day going? I feel very out of it, though." And he replies, "I'm glad you got actual sleep. I think the ketamine works well for you. Drink lots of water and you will not feel so out of it. You need to get the K out of your system." Later in the same conversation, she says, "I feel so disoriented." And James says, "It's the K, the combo, maybe the Neuroton." Sorry, I don't know what that is. He says, "They have interactions. Is it hard to walk?" And Sarah says, "No, I just feel like I'm kind of floating. I think I'm just pretty sick." Obviously, very concerning messages. Clearly not somebody who is healthy, and she's acknowledging that something's not right with her and that she doesn't feel well. So then we get to October, and on October 18th, James says, "I'm leaving soon, making sure everyone is gone. I'll be leaving soon, so we still have the IV pile. I got everything. Do you need Juul? I need bales, ? Vapes? I'll stop to get it, and then on my way home. Do we have the shave pole at home?" And Sarah says, "Yes, we do." Now, apparently, an IV pile and a shave pole are the poles in which the IV bags will hang from when you're getting something done as an IV. And so that's what they were referring to here. As we get into November, on November 14th, Sarah asks, "Can you get some propofol and ketamine too, please?" He responds, "Okay." Sarah says, "Thank you, love," and he says, "You're welcome." Then, close to Thanksgiving, on November 24th, Sarah says, "I'm sorry, we need syringes." James replies, "I already left." She says, "What do you mean?" He says, "Left the office, I will go back." Now we get into December, and this is just 1 month before Sarah dies. Sarah text messages him, "Hey love." He says, "Good morning," with the heart emoji. She asks, "How are you?" He says, "I'm good, how are you feeling?" And she says, "I'm feeling really tired." He says, "I bet you didn't sleep well last night." She replies, "Yeah, I don't know what to do." And so he replies to take her dog Winston to the field and let him run around, and to take 3 diazepam and 1.5 Xanax. And she says, take him to the soccer field, take that on an empty stomach. Eat a grapefruit juice or grapefruit. It will make the meds way more potent. Eat or drink before taking the meds. Smoke a bowl if it doesn't help in an hour. Don't drink too much water after the meds. It will dilute them. Now, this is concerning for me because, and we'll get to where, I feel like a little bit of confusion here as far as what my opinion is. But through these text message exchanges, it doesn't seem like she's taking any sort of medications unwillingly by any means. But it seems the opposite, that she's inquiring about them and that he's complying. But here, this message sticks out to me because not only is he just complying, which isn't great, don't get me wrong, but he's telling her not to dilute them, how to make them more potent, what she should take. And that is extremely concerning, not only because he is supposed to have been her partner and looking out for her best interest, but because he is technically a doctor and supplying her with these. So to advise her how to make it more potent and like the hacks around it, it just does not sit well with me. So she replies to this and asks, "Where's the Xanax?" And he says, "If you can tolerate them, then leave them under the tongue. They are in my trunk. I brought them by accident with the propofol. You can come get them from the trunk if you want. I left everything in my trunk. I didn't mean to take them. Come get them. The Versed is in the trunk also. I will put syringes and needles in the trunk also. Just let me know if you're coming. If not, I won't put the needles in there." She replies, "I don't understand what you mean." Then as we fast forward a little bit, right before Christmas, on December 20th, James says, "If you wake up, I just went to change after I gave you the K, just now." And then he replies again saying, "We went to the hockey game last night and then went home. You slept all night and every time you woke up, you were sobbing. I couldn't understand what you were saying because of the K. I just hugged you." Now, this is another one that concerns me because he's saying she slept all night and every time she woke up, she was sobbing, even though he didn't know why. Something is wrong here. It's time to grow concerned. It's time to pull back on the meds and figure out what's going on, reach out for some treatment, reach out to her family, not continue on this path as it is increasingly becoming more and more severe and detrimental. Now I'm going to read to you an exchange that took place earlier in the month between Sarah and an ex-boyfriend of hers who is also reportedly her best friend. And this exchange took place on Instagram. And she's inquiring, this was December 15th, she was inquiring from him, and his name goes by Stu, if he could get her any white powder. Now, as she was saying that, she was also telling him that it's because she felt she needed something to heighten her a bit. And she cites that not long earlier, she had actually taken too much of the K to where she needed CPR for 5 minutes to be resuscitated. So she is spiraling at this point. She has already needed to get CPR at one point, yet still her doctor boyfriend is not intervening and doing anything. Conversely, he's continuing to supply things to her. Now, in the court documents, it's also alleged and outlined that during a few of these instances, Dr. James, good old Dr. James, actually did inject the K into Sarah while she was asleep. In addition to all of this, cops meanwhile allege that James, too, had a problem with the medications and that he used them as well. And this is based on that text message that he had sent to Sarah back in September that read, "I'm trying not to do so much and taper to nothing, but it's hard to in this stupid area." The document also describes an instance in which James' employees found him asleep in the office. Apparently, James was so unresponsive that the staffers needed ammonia-smelling salts to actually wake him up. So after a thorough investigation, James was apprehended by Montgomery County Police at his practice in Germantown, Maryland.
Even though the dentist is behind bars tonight, his neighbors are not letting down their guard here at his house, where they say after what they've seen the past couple of months, any activity is suspicious. This was the second time Montgomery County Police surrounded this Clarksburg home Tuesday.
I just see like SWAT cars and everything all over the place. So, my parents were home too. They were really scared.
Earlier in the morning, they showed up heavily armed and arrested Dr. James Ryan on his way to his dental practice in Germantown, where police say he used his access to sedation drugs like ketamine and propofol.
Looks like it's going to be an OD.
In late January, police found 25-year-old Sarah Harris dead in Dr. Ryan's home, surrounded by drugs, syringes, and bloody clothes. Police say text messages between the two support second-degree murder charges against the dentist. Police say the two met when Harris was a patient in the fall of 2020. By that next January, they say he had hired her to work in his office and the two were dating.
What concerns me is that this may not be the first time he's ever done this.
This is terrible. It's just another wife.
Neighbors say strangers come and go at the house at odd hours, and Monday night called police on more people who they did not know. Officers towed a car but did not make any more arrests.
According to the court documents, James regularly fed Sarah this K, this type of anesthetic, and he did that through an IV, and apparently very high amounts were found in Sarah's system following her death. The document also alleges that James illegally obtained these medications from his practice. So on March 22nd, just a couple of weeks ago, James was charged with second-degree depraved heart murder, as well as 6 felony counts of possession with the intent to distribute and 1 count of reckless endangerment. Now, what's interesting is James is not accused of premeditation, but instead he showed what they call an extreme indifference to Sarah's life by continually providing her with these substances that he knew to be dangerous, hence the depraved heart charge.
A Montgomery County dentist accused of murder in court today. Police say Dr. James Ryan provided his girlfriend with a deadly supply of prescription drugs.
Let's get you out to Fox 5 Sierra Fox. She is live in Rockville tonight with the latest from the courtroom. Hi, Sierra.
Hi, Jim and Marina. Well, today in court, the judge said that he believes Dr. James Ryan is a flight risk and danger to the community. And for those reasons, he's being held without bond. He was arrested yesterday because police believe that he is responsible for the death of his 25-year-old girlfriend, Sarah Harris. Today, we spoke with her mom, who got really emotional. Take a listen.
I just want to say thank you, Jesus, for keeping him behind bars.
This morning, I stopped by Dr. Ryan's office, Evolution Oral Surgery. You can see on the door there's a sign that says office is temporarily closed. According to charging documents, Harris started off as Dr. Ryan's patient. He later offered her a job in October 2020, and then last January, they started dating.
And James is due back now in court on April 15th. So now here's where my confusion lies, and I really want to know what you guys think. Do I think he needs to be held accountable for his participation in all of this? Absolutely, with 100% certainty. He provided these medications and substances to Sarah. He did not stop or pull back or try to give her help when he saw that she was somewhat spiraling. But at the same time, is second-degree murder warranted? Because according to these text messages, from what we have seen so far, she looks to be not only a willing participant, but I don't want to say an eager participant, but the one initiating a lot of the requests for these medications. But, again, he took a medical oath. He should have done no harm. He should have, intervened, and not only just like medically and being a human, but as her partner and as her boyfriend. And he didn't warn her family. He didn't seek treatment, and he continually provided these medications that reportedly he even obtained illegally. So yes, I think there is some accountability there, but I don't know about the second-degree murder charges. Only because, again, it seemed as though she was requesting a lot of this. Yes, he complied, but I don't know. That's where I'm feeling very, very torn, guys. I don't know what the appropriate charges are for this, and I don't know what the appropriate action and punishment would be for those charges. So I wasn't even going to make this video, but I felt like I needed to because I wanted to get some clarity from all of you guys, and, maybe I'm looking at this all wrong, and you guys need to set me straight in the comments, which feel free. Let me have it if you think so, but I just am really confused by this case. I don't know that the charges are 100% warranted as they sit, or if they should be less, or if they should be more. I definitely think there needs to be some sort of accountability because Sarah may very well still be with her family had this not happened, had he sought out help, had she never, been given any access to any of these medications from him because he is, supposed to be a trusted doctor. Dentist. I know there's always conflicting opinions. Is a dentist a doctor? Whatever. So yes, I think that this could have been avoided, and I think that he is responsible. To what degree, I don't entirely know, because again, when I first started reading it, based on all of the news articles out there, I was under the impression that he was like giving his partner injections in her sleep and like trying to subdue her and all of this stuff. And then as I was reading more and more, I'm like, that's actually not at all what this case was like. Yeah, he did that a few times at her request or to help her. I don't know, or not help her, but you know what I mean, like to help her like not have the come down. I don't know. So tell me what you guys think, because my head's kind of spinning here and I'm really puzzled here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll let you know if my mind changes and as I learn more information on this too. Thanks again for taking the time to tune in with me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the case video. Don't forget, give this video a thumbs up on your way out and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Until the next case, stay safe. Bye.